Yeah, I mean, I think the club is fantastic. It's a club where I want to be. It's a city where I want to be. I obviously have a young family, as you guys heard my daughter early on today, but it's such an incredible place for our family and to raise a young family. So, from a city perspective and from a club perspective, it was a no-brainer to continue to pursue this opportunity. So, obviously, very grateful and very honored to be in this role.
And to obviously be someone who was an assistant coming into this head coaching
Mhm.
role, what do you think it means for this club in the bigger picture to have someone that's been here and already understands the culture and how wants to build it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I talk about building relationships constantly and what that looks like and how to continue to push players to develop and what those needs are. Every player is very different. So building those relationships to understand what makes them tick. I had a season now to do that and to start that and to build those relationships. So now building off of that and not starting from square one is something that I'm incredibly excited about.
Talking to Ryan and Lauren, it was very obvious they were excited about you. A lot of that comes from you being a former player. Do you feel like that adds to you maybe being more of a player's coach?
Yeah, I think for me, just my experiences having sat in these lockers, obviously not these ones specific, but obviously I'm using an analogy here in regards to having sat in their position before and being out on that pitch and understanding those nuances with spacing, nuances with the first touch, nuances with vision, carrying that into the coaching role that I have, and then obviously carrying it from the fact that I've been an assistant coach and blending those two pieces, I think will allow me to be the best that I can be for this group.
Building a winning culture
Hmm.
is the end goal. And so
Absolutely,
now
yeah.
being a part of this and having this lead role, what will you be doing that allows this team to get over the top of this?
Yeah, and I think, like I mentioned out there, it's creating an environment Monday through Friday that's incredibly competitive, and it has a winning mentality present, right? And I think a lot of who these players are off the pitch transcends to who they are on the pitch. So finding these relationships, building them early to be able to push them early and find that support and how I balance those two pieces for them. So for me, it's just creating that winning and competitive mentality Monday through Friday.
You've seen these women play
Hmm.
before, you have these relationships. Is this team capable now with your leadership of reaching the pinnacle and winning a championship, or what are the steps to get to that point at this level right now?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think for now, it's assessing where we're at and where we can be and how to get there. And so that's going to be my responsibility alongside the technical staff and the support staff to make sure that we get to where we want to get. And I think the group's at an incredible base. So for me, it's enhancing all these pieces to make sure that we continue moving forward. And I'm incredibly excited for
I've got a couple from Zoom.
that.
Steph, if you're able to hear me, you can go ahead and ask a question.
Yep, I just unmuted. We good?
Yeah, it's all.
All right, thank you. Hi Bev. Haven't
Hi.
spoken for a minute. You've seen things in this league. You've seen a league that's gone from I think a $6,000 minimum to announcing, $60 million deals. Lauren was just in here talking about how she looks up to you and comes to you with questions about her own coaching. Do you derive any meaning from seeing that actual link of yourself in the chain of the league's collapsing? There was no continuous history, but now 10 years you're part of there's actual generational history here to pass on. I'm just wondering if you find any meaning on that or have reflected on it.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously being a part of the league early on as a player and seeing its growth, seeing obviously what these players deserve in multiple capacities has been incredibly rewarding. I got to experience it as a player in the sense of how the league continued to grow in a positive direction. And now I get to see it on the coaching side and continue to push for the league's growth. And so for me, it's absolutely rewarding to have been in that position and to have seen that growth and now to continue to push for that growth. I'm incredibly excited for that.
Another from Zoom asks, did you ever envision becoming a head coach this soon after your playing career? And how helpful has the PA been helping you get your career started? For example, helping you fund a license?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think for me, I always knew that I was incredibly passionate about the game and wanting to teach the game. Very early on in my career, I was actually coaching and running my own private lessons / small group type of business in the sense of obviously being able to be paid throughout the year, but also an opportunity for me to dive into my coaching and see kind of where my passion was in that sense. And so for me, everything that I was teaching from a coaching sense was exactly what I was trying to improve on in my game. Being on these kids with, hey, what's your body shape look like? Are you checking your shoulder? Was all pieces that I needed to add to my game. And so diving into that very early on and saying, oh, I enjoy educating. I enjoy teaching the game. I got to see that as a player, and I continue to pursue it in that sense. And obviously through the PA, with opportunities to get a license, to explore what that passion was. And I'm grateful to say I got to do two things I'm incredibly passionate about. I think people go their lifetimes looking for doing what they love for a living. I did that as a player and I walked away, and now I'm finding something I'm even more passionate about as a coach. And I get to tell my kids that I got to do two things that I love for a living, which is an incredible honor.
With this club being past 3 years finishing in ninth place, what do you feel the responsibility is for you as head coach to get them over that hump and build upon it?
Yeah, I think it's diving into obviously where we can go and where we believe we can go. This group has a very strong belief in one another. They get along off the pitch, they get along on the pitch in the sense of that they want what's best. It's not necessarily like hanging out all the time, but they obviously have that relationship, but they also want to push each other in the most professional way possible. And so for me to have a base like that and to be able to coach the pieces that we need to coach from units, from functional sense, from overall tactical view, I think for us, it's just what can get us there and how quickly we can get there is my main focus coming into this space, in this role.
How much do you plan on bringing over from being an assistant coach to this? Okay. Oh, we have a question.
Oh, Jeff, everyone, I'm so sorry. Am I okay to hold her? Okay, sorry. Can you repeat that?
Director of the Academy and the Associate Head Coach, Noemi Ray.
Say hi. Yeah, I'm so sorry. Repeat that. Yes, he's gonna ask the question. Okay. Listen to
So
him.
being an assistant coach, how much do you take over from that responsibility?
Can we do this?
Yeah, and I think for me, it's
Can we do
now.
this with my-
Yes. We're gonna talk, but mommy's gonna go first. Is that okay? And then it's gonna be your turn. Okay. So I think it's just taking everything that I've learned in the role, right? I now understand what it's like to be in my position. So now being in the head coaching role, what I'm asking for my assistants, what I need from my assistants to create an environment for this overall bigger picture to be as executed as quickly as possible and as efficiently as possible. So using my experiences in this role to better serve them and ask from them what my needs may be from my head coaching role. And I think for me, it's surrounding myself with people that I know believe in what I'm doing and trust in what I'm doing and want to continue to enhance that in every aspect. And so that's where I'm at from that sense.
Louisville is now home for the long run here, and to be able to raise your family here and
Yeah.
to have this be your home, how special is this now for you?
Yeah, it's incredibly special. I say it all the time. This is the most underrated city. This city is amazing, from the people to the food, to the outdoors activities that we get to do as a young family. And I think, everyone tells me when I first got here, they're like, you can get anywhere in 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, right. Obviously a California native. I didn't believe that for one instance. And yeah, here we are. I absolutely love it. My family loves it. It's a place we now call home, and we look forward to calling it home.
Excited for your mom?
Are you excited for mommy?
Thank you.
Of course.
Appreciate
Thank you
it.
guys. Thank you so much. Sorry for the,
Sorry.
you interrupted 2 times today.
If anyone wants any shots of Bev on the field, we're gonna take her out.
What's your name? Say in there. That's the microphone. Say your name.
Teaching them young.
Say Noemi Ray. Say Noemi Ray.
Thank you to Max,
You
Paul,
say it.
Steph, Becky for joining us
Thank
today.
you
We'll
guys
talk
so
to
much.
you guys soon.
Thank you.